Well, we definitely did. Coaches, again, great job of scouting, but also having our team scout and them look and be very aware of how they get the three ball and shoot the three ball. And we talked about three different areas that we have to control. We have to control the transition threes, and we also had to make sure that we fanned out, because Monk will get the basketball, she'll push tempo, and the three-point shooters are spotting up. And I thought we did a very good job of just hustling with our transition defense. The second area that we talked about was their ball screen when they're running the dribble drive. We wanted to go over on all ball screens and force them into more of their two-game penetration. Faustina Fool was going to lend as much help as she could. And then the third area that they do a good job is when they get on the offensive glass and they're spotting up and they kick out for threes. So by us keeping them off the glass and clearing as many defensive boards as we did, and our transition defense and our ball screen defense, that really allowed us to dish the three ball for them.
And on offense, y'all shared the ball really well tonight, and all 10 players scored. You had a lot of assists and a lot of different assists by different players. So talk about y'all.
Anytime that you can look at your stat sheet and have 14, 15, I think we had 16 assists on the night, Caleb Pointer with 8 assists. That's a team that's being selfless. That's a team that's looking for their teammates. But more importantly, players are playing within their own game and not taking shots for themselves or taking shots for the team. And when you play so hard on the defensive end, you've got to reward players on the offensive end, and you've got to make sure that you get paint points, and that started with Ayanna Mitchell inside. And for us to score 52 points in the paint, not only by putting the ball inside to our post game, but we also had great dribble penetration by our perimeter players, and they were making the right plays out of that dribble drive.
Y'all also killed it on rebounds tonight. Y'all had about 20 more rebounds than them. What was the key to that tonight?
Well, the key was to contest every shot and make sure that we rotated and boxed out, and to see Ayanna Mitchell clear 12 defensive boards. That's pretty impressive. But there were other players, too, that were on the glass. Caleb Pointer had 6 boards. Mercedes Brooks had 4 defensive boards. So when you've got your guards rebounding, that allows you to push tempo. Our ability to get on the offensive glass, we did that, and that's what we've been good at. And when you control the boards, especially plus 20, you're going to control the tempo of the game, and the tempo played in our favor tonight.
Can you make a comment on Raquel Spencer?
Not at this time.
Alright, so going off the question about Raquel, so the past 4 games she's been starting, so what has she been showing you in games and practices? What does she bring to that starting 5?
A defensive and rebounding presence, but also someone who can attack off the bounce. She's had the last 2 games she's had to guard the best players on each team. And it's a defensive assignment that she has welcomed, and that she has allowed us to play man-to-man, and we can deny out of it, and her length and the rest of the team being excited for her. She just has really been an X factor for us over the last couple of games. And we're going to be hopeful that she returns. But I know that Raquel Spencer is somebody that, who hadn't been playing, all year, and then when her number was called, and it's been called, she's answered that call, and that tells me a lot about who she is as a competitor.
Okay, and you told me last week that you were treating the home games like away games.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that contributes to how fast they came out tonight?
With this group, I don't know. I just wanted to give them an opportunity to have a different level of focus, because when we're on the road, we can eliminate a lot of distractions. And at home, there's a lot of other stuff going on. And by bringing them together earlier, and you're in the gym, way before the other team is there. We're on the court. We're able to have a review that's more right then and there as opposed to 4 hours before tip. And that's, or 5 hours before tip, because we eat 4 hours beforehand. So to have that level of concentration right before the game, and then I get to be, and my staff get to be the ones in their ears. That workout, that 30-minute workout that you get, it's pretty intense, and I like the feel of it for them going into the game. And then they have a little window there where they can kind of go get some more rehab or decompress a little bit, but we're getting to the gym, you know, a lot sooner, and we're on the court together a lot sooner. So I like that. I like that a little bit now, and I think I'm going to probably stick to it while we're at home. We definitely will do it on the road.
Hey, you guys got a pretty big game out of Carly, so can you just speak on what she brings to this team?
Well, first off, Carly is inserted because of her defense and her ability to be very deceptive offensively. She plays on both sides of the basketball. She's a player that can really attack the rim off the bounce, and she can get deflections which will lead to turnovers. And now our transition game looks a lot better with Carly. I can give her a defensive assignment as well, and she can keep points off the board for us. So I like the play of Carly right now as that player that's giving us offense and defense.
All right, in the last couple of games, Jalen Richard-Harris has been playing a little sparingly. Is everything okay with her?
Yeah, I mean, her number will be called too, and we're going to be able to count on her in other areas of the game, and she's somebody that we're still wanting to look for. She's one of our better spot-up shooters. She also can come in and run a point for us, so we're still going to be looking for everybody on the roster. I don't ever want to say no one's ever going to play, because that you can never know, but I want to make sure that everybody's ready when their number is called.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thank you.